The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone. Hail, Caesar! Read the schedule.
Trebonius doth desire you to read. At your best leisure, this is humble suit.
Oh, Caesar, read mine first, for mine's a suit that touches Caesar nearer. Read it, great Caesar.
What touches us ourselves shall only be last served.
Oh, Caesar, delay not. Read it instantly.
The fellow mad.
Sirrah, give place.
What urge you your Persians in the street? Come to the capital.
I wish that your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise, Popilius?
Fare you well.
What said Popilius Lena?
You wish today our enterprise may thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered.
Mark how he makes to Caesar.
Casca, be sudden. We fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back, for I will slay myself.
Fear not, Cassius. Look, he speaks to Caesar, and Caesar doth not change.
Brutus, Trebonius knows his time. He draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where is Metellus Cimber? Let him go and presently prefer a suit to Caesar.
Metellus. Casca, you are the first that rose your hand.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat an humble heart.
I must prevent these, Simba. These couchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men. Thy brother, by decree, is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice, O sweeter than my own, sound more greatly in Caesar's ear, for the repealment of my banished brother?
Most mighty Caesar, I take thy hand, but not in flattery, requesting that Publius Cimber have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What? Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar. Caesar, pardon as low as to thy foot, that Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
I could be well moved if I were as you, but I am constant as the northern star. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine. Yet in all the number I do know but one, that unassailable holds his rank, unshaked of motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it even in this, that I was constant, Simba be banished, and constant do I remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence, wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak! Hands for me!
Ah!
dead! Run hence! Proclaim! Cry it about the streets!
Some to the common pulpits and cry out, liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement.
People and senators, be not affrighted. Tyranny's debt is paid!
Go to the pulpit, Brutus.
Cassius too.
Where is Publius Simba? You're quite confounded by this mutiny. Come, Publius. There is no harm meant to you, Publius. Nor to any other Roman. So tell them, Publius.
Leave us, Publius, lest the people rushing on us should do your aid some mischief.
Come. Come, Romans. Stoop. And wash your hands in Caesar's blood.
How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over? In states unborn, and accents yet unknown.
Here comes Mark Antony.
Oh, Caesar, dost thou lie here so low?
Antony, though now we must appear bloody and cruel, as by our hands and this our present act you see we do, but see you but our hands, Antony? See you not our hearts? They are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. Only be patient, Antony, till we have appeased the crowd beside themselves with fear. And then I shall tell you why I that did love Caesar so, when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus, will I shake with you? Next, Caius Cassius, do I take your hand? Decius Brutus, yours. Yours, Simba. Ligarius, no. And my valiant Casca, yours. Last, but not last in love, yours, Trebonius. Gentlemen all, alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery grounds that one of two ways you must conceit me. Either a coward or a flatterer. For I did love thee, Caesar. If then thy spirit look upon us now, would it not grieve thee dearer than thy death, to see thy Antony, making his peace, shaking the hands of thy foes? Oh, most noble. Pardon me, Julius.
Mark Antony!
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. If his enemies will say this, then in a friend it is but cold modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so. Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hand. Friends am I with you all, and love you all, upon this hope that you shall give me reason why and wherein Caesar was dangerous. That's all I seek. And moreover,
that I may bring his body to the pulpit, and in the marketplace, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent that Mark Antony speak at his funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which he will utter?
By your pardon, Cassius, I will myself into the pulpit first, and give reason for our Caesar's death. What Antony shall say, I will protest, and say that he does it by our permission alone, and that we are contended our Caesar have all true rites and ceremonies. It shall advantage us more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Antony, take thou the body of Caesar. You shall not, in your speech, Antony, blame us in any way, but say all good you can of our great Caesar, and say you do it by our permission. And you shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going, after I have made my speech.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Oh. Pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived, the tides of time. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Upon thy wounds now do I prophesy, with like dumb mouths to ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall encumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so used, and dreadful objects so familiar that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants watered with the hands of war, all pity choked with custom of fell deed. And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, with Ate by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines, with a monarch's voice, cry, havoc! And let slip the dogs of war. We demand answers. We demand will be satisfied. We 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 will be satisfied. Let us be satisfied.
Those that will hear me speak, let them stay here. And public reason shall be rendered for our Caesar's death.
I will hear Brutus speak.
The noble Brutus is ascended. So silence, silence, peace, silence, peace.
Be patient till the last. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent, that you may hear Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say, Brutus's love for Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, no. That I loved Rome more. Yay! Would you had you had rather Caesar were living and die all slaves than that Caesar were dead, to live all free men. As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoiced at it. As he was valiant, I honored him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There are tears for his love, joy for his fortunes, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any speak for him, have I offended? Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any speak for him, have I offended? Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any speak for him, have I offended? I pause for a reply.
None, Brutus, none! None, Brutus, none!
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall to Brutus. Here is the body of our mighty Caesar, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no part to play in Caesar's death, will receive the benefit of it, a place in the Commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this, friends, I depart. But as I slew my best friend for the good of Rome, I have for me the same dagger. When it shall please my country to need me dead,
Live, Brutus, live, Brutus, live! Live, Brutus, live!
Bring him in triumph home unto his house.
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Oh, let him be Caesar!
Caesar's better part should be crowned.
my countrymen,
Peace, silence,
Silence, peace!
good countrymen, let me depart alone. And for my sake, stay here with Antony. Grace his speech, and do grace to Caesar's corpse. I do entreat you, friends, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
For Brutus' sake, I am beholden to you all. He says for Brutus' sake, he finds himself beholden to us all.
This Caesar was a tyrant.
Nay, that's certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of him.
Peace.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it here under leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet, Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man.
No, I don't think so. He's an honorable. No.
You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him with a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition?
No, there's no ambition.
Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Oh, judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Kings, there's much reason in his sayings.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
Has he, masters? I fear there will the worst come in his place.
Marked ye his words, he would not take the crown. Therefore, 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
If it be found so, some will dare abide it.
Caesar was a tyrant.
Poor soul.
He's right.
But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. Oh, masters, if I were to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I would do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you than wrong such honorable men. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, yea, dip their napkins in his sacred blood.
Read us away, Caesar's way, read us away, read away.
Be patient, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not meet. You know how Caesar loved you. You are neither wood nor stone, but men. And men, bearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. 'Tis good you know not that you are his heirs, for if you should, oh, what would come of it?
Read the well, Caesar's way, read it well, read the well, read the well.
Will you be patient? Will you stay a while? I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar in the back. Oh, I do fear it.
Yeah.
You will
Read
compel
the
me
well,
then.
read the well.
You will compel me then to read it. Then make a ring around the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend?
Come down, descend.
Will you give me leave?
You shall, descend, you shall.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this man. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. It was on a warm summer evening in his tent. That day he overcame the nervii. Look, here ran Cassius's dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. And through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood followed it. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, oh ye gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stare, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle, muffling up his face, whilst all the while ran blood. Great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen, that you and I and all of us fell down. Oh, now you weep. I perceive you feel the dints of pity. Good friends, what weep you when you but see Caesar's vesture wounded? Look here! Here is himself, marred as you see, with traitors!
Oh, piteous spectacle.
Noble Caesar!
Oh, woeful day!
Traitors, will
Almost bloody sight.
Revenge!
Stay, countrymen!
Peace there,
Stay.
young noble Anthony.
We died, yeah!
Good friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that loved my friend. And that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that would rid the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny!
Mutiny! Burn us up to the death, burn them, kill them, do.
Here's the will. And under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen, to every several man, he gives 75 drachmas.
Oh, Royal Caesar, will prevent the death.
Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors and new-found orchards this side Tiber. He hath left them to you and your heirs for ever common pleasure, to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. Whence comes such another?
Never burn the bodies, we'll kill them, we'll burn them, we'll revenge the dead, we'll kill them, yes, burn.
Mischief, thou art afoot. Take now what course thou wilt. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
Yes, sir. Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He's at Caesar's house.
Tell him to prepare the legions. We are at war.
Now, Antony, you said the enemies would not come down, but keep to the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here. Answering before we do demand of them.
I am in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this they strike fear in our hearts. But it's not so.
Prepare your generals. The enemy comes on in gallant show. The bloody sign for battle hung out, and something to be done immediately.
Prepare yourself, Octavius. Keep the left-hand side of
Up
the...
on the right-hand eye, keep down the left.
Why do you cross me in this exigence?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
They stand and would have parley, Cassius.
Stand fast, Titanius. We must out and talk, Brutus.
Mark Antony, shall we give the sign of battle?
No, we shall charge on theirs. Stand
Stir.
fast.
Stir not until a signal.
Words before blows. Is it so, my countrymen?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your good words, Brutus, you give bad strokes. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live Hail Caesar!
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown. But for your words, they rob the bees and leave them honeyless.
Oh, yes, and soundless too, Antony, for you have stolen their buzzing.
Villains, you did not so when your daggers hacked into Caesar's back. You bowed like bondmen, whilst damned Casca like a cur stabbed Caesar in the neck. Oh, you flatterers!
Flatterers! Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue would not have offended so today if Cassius might have ruled.
Come, the cause. If arguing make us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword goes up again? Never, till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till another Caesar have added slaughter the sword of traitors.
Octavius, thou canst not die by the hands of traitors unless thou bringst them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus' sword.
If thou were the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorable.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, joined by a masker and a reveler.
Old Cassius, still.
Come, Antony, away. Defiance, traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
No, no, no. So, I'm free. I have been longing for this day. Oh, Cassius. Far from this country, Pindaris shall run. Whenever another Roman shall take note of him.
Where Mr. doth his body lie? Cassius. Cassius! Oh, Caesar, thou art mighty yet. The last of all noble Romans. Fare thee well, Cassius. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead woman than you shall see me pay today. Farewell to thee, Insolence.
Fly, my lord, fly! You must leave here.
Farewell to thee too, Strato. Good countrymen, in all my life, I met no man that was not good to me. I shall have the glory, even by this losing day, more than Mark Antony and Octavius shall have. Farewell to you, my friends. Brutus's life hath wrote his last story. I prithee, Strato, thou art a warrior of noble strain. There has been a smatch of honor in thy life. Take thou my sword. Take it, Strato! Wilt thou do it? Wilt thou do it, Strato?
Give me your hand. Farewell. Farewell.
Now be still! I kill not thee with so good a will.
That was, of course, a wonderful performance. Let's give a big round of applause for the team. I would now like to call upon Shreya to present the cast and the crew.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's presenting the cast and crew of School of Law's Julius Caesar. The actors: sets and props, costumes, music and lights, logistics, and finally the main characters: Cassius, Mark Antony, Brutus, and Caesar. and the dancers.
Let's give this wonderful team a huge round of applause again. Okay, I would now like to invite the Dean of the Humanities and the Social Sciences Department, Dr. Father John Joseph Kennedy, to come and speak a few words.
Can I have your attention, please, for a few more minutes? Members of faculty and my dear Christites. It gives me a lot of pleasure, to be here witnessing this wonderful performance by the School of Law students. And this has been going on for several years, you all know. And this is a good tradition, that has been started. And I'm glad that it's continuing. So keep it up. It was a wonderful performance, and I'm glad that School of Law is looking at Shakespearean plays. And I think there's a lot of connection between law and Shakespeare, and especially, his political plays. And this play, you all know, is very deeply political, right? And what is interesting about this play is that it's absolutely relevant even today. If you look at all those characters, especially the major ones, the kind of wily scheming, that Cassius is, for instance, and I'm glad that, they did some changes as well. Cassius is not a man here, it's a woman here. And I could see Cassius and Lady Macbeth and Mephistopheles, all into one here, the way she did it. Very good, keep it up. And also, the other characters, the major ones, all right, Brutus, for instance, right? I mean, he very beautifully portrayed the kind of gullible, naive, Brutus that is, and how he easily falls prey to the kind of insinuations that Cassius does. Very beautifully brought out. And good job, Brutus. And of course, Antony, all right? I think most of us remember this play. Every time people say Julius Caesar, Shakespeare, and immediately everybody thinks of this famous speech, right? Friends, Romans, countrymen, and so on. And he did a splendid job, right? And what is very important is for you to remember, the kind of psychology, that Shakespeare is trying to bring about here. The mob psychology, for instance. How do you speak? Public speaking, for instance. How do you speak in a certain context? Are you going to appeal to the reasoning power of the mob or the, intellectual capabilities of the group or the people? Or are you going to appeal to the emotions? What is the context? And Shakespeare does it beautifully well, right, in this play. And, of course, Antony did a wonderful job there. So keep it up, Antony. Of course, you have Caesar, right? Now, one question that everybody who reads this play asks is, who's the tragic hero? All right, who's the hero? According to Aristotle, of course, you all know the definition, all right? Tragic hero, good but not too good, all right? Has one flaw, the Greek word hamartia and so on. Now here, it's a very, very difficult thing to say who the tragic hero is. If you look at Brutus, yes, his love for Rome, right? More than anything else, right? If you look at Caesar, people will say ambition. He was a tyrant, he was a dictator, he wanted more and more power, and we all know power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So all kinds of, reasonings. Even Antony, for that matter, because that's the turning point in the play, where he gives the speech and turns the mood of the mob, Excuse me. So in that sense, everybody plays their role, and everybody, is a hero in that sense. Today we need to read Shakespeare in a different way, all right? I'm glad, they did some kind of adaptation here, right? Because the original play, if I remember right, it was performed in 1599. And after about almost 420 years, right, today in the 21st century, we are getting to watch the play once again, but a rereading of Shakespeare, all right? It need not be the same thing. I'm sure, when it was performed first, it would have been completely different, all right? The way one interprets a play, it's going to be different. So I'm sure, this will continue this trend, especially under the, headship of Father Benny, right? Now, this is being continued. I'm glad that you're doing it. Please keep doing it. And I'm sure Esther will be very, very happy, right? Wherever she is, right? She started, this entire practice, this tradition. Of course, unfortunately, she's not with us anymore. But then I'm sure, she will be very proud of all of you, right? So each one of you, what is important is all of you were given certain roles, right? And all of you have done your role perfectly well. That is very, very important, right? So it doesn't matter whether you played a small role or a big role. All of you contributed to this play. That is very, very important to the success of this play. So wonderful initiative. Congratulating all of you once again for this wonderful performance. You entertained all of us, and we are really proud of you. And on behalf of all the audience, gathered here, once again, thank you. Congratulations. A big hand.
Thank you, sir. Now, I'd like to invite the man who directed the play, Roshan Amity, and the assistant director, Nikhil Alexander, to speak a few words.
Good evening, everybody. So I would first of all want to thank Father Benny for trusting us, especially Nikhil, me, and all other seniors like Bodayan, Vishwesh, everybody who has worked under Esther ma'am. So thank you, Father, for that. And I don't want to say about anything about the play. So I'll hand over the mic to my associate director, Nikhil.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say there's one person above everyone that we have to thank. Already been mentioned, Mrs. Esther Yates. Both of us, him till he graduated, me till last year, all the plays we've done, everything we did on this stage, on any stage, any Shakespearean, non-Shakespearean, any kind of play we did with Esther ma'am, we did under Esther ma'am, we did because of Esther ma'am, we did for Esther ma'am and for ourselves. But today is the first time, the second show, the first play, the second show, that at this point in the show, we can't invite Esther ma'am to come tell us how bad we were on stage, or we can't invite Esther ma'am to come tell us how proud of us she is. So we're in a bit of a crossroads. So all I can say is that for all of us who've worked with her before, all of us who've known her before, and all of these juniors who have not heard of Esther ma'am, this play is a tribute to Esther ma'am. This play was put together for her. Above all of that, I'd like to thank everybody who came through for us. We did this without the support of a faculty coordinator or a faculty in charge. We were handed this by Father Benny saying, former student and you, just take it and do the best you can, because I believe enough in Esther ma'am to believe that you both have learnt enough to do this. That's the kind of belief that Father Benny showed in us. And starting from Father Benny to Rajan sir, to Praveen sir, to Vincent sir, to everyone who helped us. The trailer you saw was shot in 3 different auditoriums because we were running around every auditorium trying to find a place to shoot. But somehow, because everybody tried everything they could to help us, we got it done and we got this play off and running. And I'd just like to thank everyone who made it happen, everyone who made it possible, because this, for me, is the proudest day of my life. And I'd like to thank all the cast members as well. On top of that, I'd like to thank this university, Christ University,
Father VC, Father Benny, Father Lijo, all, Father Abraham, all of them, they believe so much in in the students to give us this kind of infrastructure, this kind of budget, this kind of money, this kind of motivation to just go out and achieve whatever you want. Achieve anything you want as long as it's studious, right? So this play is a culmination of all of their supports, and I'd just like to heartily thank everyone, including everyone standing here with me. I'd like to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart, because this by far is the proudest day of my life. Thank you. And yeah, there's another person who I would like to hear some comments from, because Philip sir has come in. He used to come in once in a while. We'd do the play, we'd practice everything, then we'd show Philip sir. And we'd be so excited to show Philip sir, but from start to finish, he'd tell us so many things that we can improve. And at first I thought, how can he just tell us everything that's wrong with the play? Why is he not saying anything good? Then I realized everything that he told us was wrong with the play was for us to make it better, and we did. The time of this play, day before yesterday, was 2.5 hours. Today it's 1 hour, 45 minutes, just because he came and saw it day before yesterday and told us audience is going to fall asleep. So many things you saw on stage were corrected, perfected over multiple showings, multiple practice sessions. And it's a key reason for that is Philip sir's support. Not part of his daily routine or anything to come help us, but he came out of his way, he supported us, he spoke to us, he helped us. And I'd just like to thank you too, Philip sir. Before Father Benny, I'd like to hand over the mic. Oh, you already have a mic. Okay.
I thought Nikhil won't give the mic. That's why I kept one mic with me. So, friends, countrymen, Christites, are you all awake? Yes, you all are awake, and I'm sure now nobody is ready to go out. Now it is time to go out. Respected fathers, our Pro-Vice Chancellor is with us, Dr. Kennedy. Thanks for your appreciation and your note. Professor Phillips, thanks for helping my students. Whenever they made some mistakes, you corrected on time. All other guests, teachers, Ms. Sharmila, she was there in the last moment to help our students, and other teachers, whomever Nikhil forgot. Again, I'm just thanking you all for your wonderful support to my students. And you all know that why law school started this play. They have already given the introduction time. It was the inspiration from Professor Madhav Menon, the founder of National Law School. He said Christ University School of Law should be something unique. You should compete with national law schools also. So now National Law School hasn't started a Shakespeare play. Why don't you start and become unique in the country? And he said he has seen only in Harvard University. So why don't you become a unique university in the country and in the world? That's how we started. We started with The Merchant of Venice, and this is the 7th production. And this year we know that we didn't have Esther ma'am with us. So with that much fear, I approached the first year students. What will we do? Should we break the tradition, or should we continue the tradition of this Shakespeare's plays? And then initially there was little bit reluctance, but then I brought in our great man Roshan and then Nikhil, and they inspired the first years. All the 300 first years were in the hall there, and they inspired with their acting skills. And then I asked, are you all ready to take it up? Then I could see more than 100 hands up. But then the rest of the things they did, I didn't do much. I was just asking in between and shouting at them for something which they did in a perfect way. So real congratulations, and dear first years, and majority are first years involved in this. And you have got 5 years left. You have just started your journey in Christ University. And if you could do this much today, I'm sure the remaining 5 years you are going to do miracles here. So all the best first years. We will go together, we will move together and do many things for the glory of God and for the glory of Christ, your university. And this is a golden jubilee gift, actually, School of Law you did today. So congratulations once again. thanking all the supporting staff. Lot of restrictions and constraints we had, but still they did a wonderful show. Once again, thanking you all. We say goodbye now. Thank you very much.